Sometimes a problem that looks utterly simple reveals a cosmic complexity the deeper you dig. Today's protagonist, the superpermutation, is exactly that kind of problem. The definition of a superpermutation fits in one sentence. The shortest string that contains, as substrings, every single permutation you can make from a given set of elements. The crux lies in that word. Shortest. Let's start small. How many permutations can you make from the 3 digits 1, 2, 3? 3 factorial, that is 3 times 2 times 1, which is 6. Laid out, they look like this. 123, 132, 213, 231, 312, 321. If you wanted to build a single long string that contains all 6 of these, how would you do it? The crudest method is to just concatenate all 6 end to end. That gives you 6 strings of 3 characters each, so 18 characters. But this is clearly wasteful. The secret is in the overlap. When the tail of one permutation overlaps with the head of the next, you save exactly as many characters as overlap. The entire story of superpermutations begins with this overlap. Let's build up from the smallest cases. With one element it's just one length 1. With 2 elements you need 12 and 21. But if you tack just a 1 onto 12 you get 121, which contains both. The length is 3. With 3 characters it flows like this. Start with 123, reuse the last 2 digits 23 to get 231, then reuse the last 2 digits 31 to get 312. You repeat this reuse all the way through. The 3-character superpermutation completed this way is 123121321, length 9. You've cut 18 characters down to 9, exactly in half. If you increase the number of elements and tabulate the shortest length, a sequence emerges. 1, 3, 9, 33, 153. Seeing these numbers, mathematicians proposed an intuitive and beautiful formula. The sum of 1 factorial through n factorial, added up term by term. Indeed, for n equal to 5, 1 plus 2 plus 6 plus 24 plus 120 is exactly 153. It matched perfectly. The mathematical community firmly believed this formula was the cosmic rule governing superpermutations. But the peaceful world of superpermutation shattered the moment it reached 6 elements. By the old formula, the length for n equal to 6 should have been 873. But when computers were pushed to their limits, a string 1 character shorter, just 872, was discovered. It was only 1 character, but the shock was great. It revealed that the beautiful formula was not the true shortest length, but merely a plausible approximation. And around this time the breakthrough came from an utterly unexpected place. In 2011, the anonymous overseas community 4chan. The story goes like this. To watch the 14-episode anime The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, in every possible episode order, how many episodes would you have to watch in total? It became known as the Haruhi problem. And in the midst of this idle yet earnest fandom, one anonymous user worked a miracle. They recast the problem in terms of graph theory and proved a lower bound for the superpermutation. The heart of the proof was turning the permutations into a weighted directed graph. Each node is a permutation, and there are n factorial nodes in all. An edge, a path from one permutation to another, carries a cost. That cost is the number of new characters you must add to make the crossing. The most ideal path is always a cost 1 path that adds exactly 1 character. This means 5 positions overlap entirely. The cheaper the cost, the greater the overlap. So the most tempting scenario is to visit every node by stepping only along cost 1 paths. But the geometric structure of the graph blocks exactly this. The first trap. If you keep following only cost 1 paths, you eventually get stuck in a loop that returns to yourself. There are n-1 factorial of these isolated little islands across the whole graph. For n equal to 6, that's a full 120 of them. To visit all these severed islands, you have no choice but to build bridges between them. Here you cannot use cost 1. You must cross a minimum cost 2 bridge, n-1, factorial -1 times. What's more hopeless? No matter how you mix cost 1 and cost 2, you end up trapped again inside an even larger super loop. There are n-2 factorial of these super islands. To connect these super islands, You must now cross an even pricier cost 3 bridge, n-2, factorial -1 times. Every jump adds yet another penalty to the length. The anonymous user carefully summed up the receipts for all of these force transfer penalties that simply have to be paid. There are 4 terms. The base length of the first permutation n, the ideal length of touring every node by adding just 1 character each, n factorial -1, the first order penalty for linking islands, and the second order penalty for linking super islands. Add up all these terms and simplify neatly, and the famous 4chan user's lower bound formula reveals itself. Substituting n equal to 6 into this formula gives 720 plus 120 plus 24, plus 6 and -3, which is 867. In other words, no matter how hard you run computers or what clever tricks you use, it was proven mathematically that you can never make it shorter than 867 characters. It's all abstract when you just hear it, so let's confirm it with our own eyes in Python. Here's code that, for 5 elements, builds a superpermutation by greedily chasing only cost 1. The core logic is simple. Each step you pick the permutation that overlaps most with the tail of the string built so far, append it, and record the number of newly added characters as the cost. Run this code and you get the very same map as the article's hero image. The small cyan circles are the basic islands trapped at cost 1, and the 6 large orange circles bundling those islands are the super islands. The last green node of each island is the trap node where you get stuck and can go no further. You start at the blue dot and end at the red dot. This single image holds the entire hierarchy of costs 1, 2, and 3. Looking at the output, the algorithm nibbles along only cost 1 paths, jumps to cost 2 just before getting trapped on an island, and jumps to cost 3 again just before getting trapped on a super island. Once it links all 120 permutations, the total length is 153. But here's something strange happens. Plug n equal to 5 into the same lower bound formula, and you get 152. Yet the actual shortest length that can be built is 153. The lower bound and reality don't match? So then, is a theory that can't explain the observation actually meaningful? To cut to the answer, yes, it most definitely is. First, the facts. That the actual shortest length for n equal to 5 is 153 was proven by mathematician Nathaniel Johnston's exhaustive search in 2014, and it's officially registered in the Online Encyclopedia of Integer Sequences, OEIS, as a 180632. In physics, a theory of 152 that contradicts the observation of 153 would indeed be a discredited illusion. But in discrete mathematics and computational complexity theory, this lower bound carries an absolute significance. Without it, the research itself would be impossible. There are 3 reasons. First, the lower bound is the only lighthouse telling you when to stop searching. The number of ways to concatenate 120 permutations at n equal to 5 is far greater than the number of atoms in the universe. If a computer spat out a length 153 string and there were no lower bound, we might have to run a supercomputer for another 100 years, fearing something shorter was hidden away. But because we know the lower bound is 152, we can see the gap between the two is just 1 and end the search. Second, the lower bound is a compass for exploring uncharted space. From n equal to 6, that is 720 nodes, the number of cases explodes, and with humanity's technology an exhaustive search is impossible even until the universe ends. Even in that daunting realm, because we know the n equal to 6 lower bound is 867, scholars hold the current best record of 872 and yet narrow the range, confident the answer lies somewhere between 867 and 871. The lower bound is a vast fence that bounds the search space. Third, the lower bound is a blueprint that structures the unavoidable sacrifices. To forcibly link all those countless islands, it is the mathematical receipt showing that structurally you must cross those expensive bridges a minimum number of times. By way of analogy, it's like absolute zero. Actually reaching the perfect absolute zero of -273.15 degrees is impossible, but only with that theoretical floor in place can the discipline of thermodynamics stand. It's exactly the same logic. So how far have we come? Thanks to the insight of an anonymous 4chan user, we've confirmed the floor. For n equal to 6, it can never be shorter than 867. But the shortest string humanity has actually built so far is 872. The lower bound is a theoretical line drawn by logic, and the upper bound is the current world's shortest record people have found through legwork. We've found the box that is the lower bound, its skeleton, but no one has yet found a way to cram the 720 pieces inside it perfectly, without a single collision. The superpermutation timeline doesn't end here. In 2018, the SF writer and mathematician Greg Egan devised a construction that dramatically lowered the upper bound by exploiting a particular structural symmetry. A problem that looks simple drew anime fandom, graph theory, and supercomputers together in one place. Before this maze that links every possibility with a single line, the universe still hides the answer. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. See you again in the next video.